after so many plagues, after so many discussions with Paro, after so many threats, after so many punishments which were absorbed by Paro, God finally tells Moshe and Aaron the end game. They're leaving. And at this point, he moves from what to tell Paro and what to tell the Egyptians to what the Jews need to do, what the Israelites need to do. Now they're going to serve God. Not just after they leave, as has been said all along, that they'll travel 3 days and they need to serve God in the desert. No, in Egypt itself, on this incredible evening, they're going to bring an offering to God. They're going to bring the Korban Pesach, the Passover offering. And as the conversation continues, God tells them all kinds of things they need to do to prepare for this. To prepare the lamb, to get the matzah ready, to get everything ready, but when it's going to be eaten, when they're going to bring the offering, they're going to do it with their coats on their backs and their walking sticks in hand, because very soon they're going to be leaving. And then God does something which is remarkable. He continues in this, and he talks about the future. And he says that this celebration that they're doing now in Egypt, they're going to do it again. They're going to do it again when they come to their land. They're going to do it again in Israel. They're going to do it again in a place that one day we're going to learn is called Jerusalem. They're going to travel there and they're going to bring the Passover offering. And then the Torah says that in the future, when you do this, your children are going to ask you, what is this all about? Why are we doing this? What is this offering? And the answer which the Torah gives is that this is the Passover. Literally, Passover. Because when God struck the Egyptian firstborn on that night, he passed over the Jewish homes and only struck the Egyptians. And it ends that section by saying the people were really full of joy and they bowed down because they heard about this. And Rashi tells us that they bowed down because they heard about the redemption and about these children. Now, what's interesting about this is this section, these children are later on described in rabbinic literature, including by Rashi himself, as being the so-called wicked children, the wicked son from the Passover Seder. But nonetheless, Rashi over here told us that the people rejoiced about hearing about such a child. They rejoiced about this news. So there's something here that we need to understand. Many years later, especially when the rabbis look at this text, and they hear about a child who doesn't know about Passover and questions about it. What's this story all about? Why are we traveling to Jerusalem? Why are we bringing this offering? The rabbis hear something which is disturbing. The exact words, Ma avodah zot lachem. Like, what is this service that you people are doing? And they find within those words that he's separating himself from the community. But that's not the way it was heard in context. In context in Egypt, when their parents heard that God said, your children are going to be asking, what's this all about? Let's be far more specific. When the children were questioned, why is it necessary to celebrate that we, or to commemorate, that we were once slaves? There's something within that message which is incredible news. And it really should make us absolutely break out, not just in happiness, but in song. Because it means the day is going to come that we're going to have children who are not going to know about slavery. We're going to have children who are not going to know about servitude. Now, on the one hand, we want children to know about our history. But on the other hand, as we're suffering, as we're in pain, to imagine that one day we're going to have children who won't even know about this, who we're going to need to educate them that we were once slaves. If you're a slave, that's unbelievable news. This past week in Jerusalem, leaders from all over the world came to commemorate the Holocaust. Can you imagine a Jew standing in Auschwitz with their child and says, we're going to leave one day. God sent Moses to tell us we're going to leave. We're going to end up in our own land. We're going to build a country. And then we're going to celebrate the liberation that we had from this place. Can you imagine him being shown a scene in the future with his grandson or granddaughter who don't even know that there was once a Holocaust? On the one hand, that's really disturbing, especially with the revisionism and people forgetting and denying and claiming there wasn't one. But can you imagine his joy to be told that he's going to raise a child in freedom, without nightmares, without being a slave, without the fear of death, but rather raise a child in freedom? That's what the Jews experienced in Egypt. And at that point, when they were told about such a child, when they were told about the Passover, at that moment, they were already free.